Hello, Giancarlo. It's a shame that we weren't able to meet in person, but I'm glad that we could arrange this interview to be online.
Thank you for meeting with me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I just started college right now for the second time. I'm currently at Lander University in Greenville, South Carolina. It's been a crazy change for me, and everything's brand new. I'm living alone for the first time in my entire life, so it's been a very interesting period to get adjust, but I feel like I'm doing really well, and things are just falling together like puzzle pieces. So it feels great.
Oh, that's really good. I'm glad that you're in school. You want to walk me through a little bit of your resume?
Yeah, for sure. So I graduated high school early over in 2020, and then I automatically started into college. I graduated with an AA in automotive studies, and then I went straight into the business field. I worked at Mercedes-Benz of South Charlotte for about 2 years, and then from there is where I had my lots of experience with automotive vehicles and a whole bunch of stuff like that, and it really started piquing my interest. And then I got to a point where I felt like I needed something different. So that's when I started pursuing my university dreams of potentially owning my own business or joining a larger company where I could actually do something. So I started going to Leonard University as where I'm attending currently. And then I am seeking a BA in management, and then hopefully I will be able to add an accounting minor.
Sounds really awesome. So why do you think you would be a good fit for this job?
So while my time at Mercedes-Benz, I spent a lot of it working side by side with insurance agents while working on cars. As you guys know, when you bring it to a dealership, we'll have a lot of insurance policies, and agents take over the field and take over paying for all the fixes. With that, I work hand in hand with the insurance agent, and multiple times we have gone to conversations, in-depth conversations and studies about how similar it is on what we are doing and what they are doing. At the end of the day, the insurance agent is looking at the car and seeing what is worth fixing and what is not worth fixing. Slightly shifted to a mechanic as where I worked in the back. I would look at a car and see what was wrong with it, and I would try to fix it. So it was very much like I think it was a very hand in hand working progress. So he helped, it was a lot of he helped me and I help him.
Cool. It sounds like you already know a little bit about the industry and what goes on. So why did you apply for this job specifically?
I'm going to be realistic. I was scrolling down Indeed and I've thought about insurance jobs before, like while I was working at Mercedes, and I always thought it'd be cool to be able to be an insurance adjuster or work with an insurance company policy hand in hand. And so when I saw a listing, at first I kind of ignored it because I was like, I don't completely want to do it because it's something new. It's out of my field. It's something that is was estranged. And then little by little, I realized that if I apply to something that can get me into something new, I'm going to learn more. And so, with my experience of working with insurance agents before, I think it's definitely something not too far on what I'm doing. So, I could definitely just kind of zoom into the process and hopefully pick up and learn anything I need.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to learn new skills, broaden your horizons.
Thank you.
So, what are your expectations working with this company?
So, this will be my first company after I graduate, if accepted into the company. This will be my first after I graduate. So expectations are at an all-time high. I graduate, I walk the stage, and I feel completely free and ready to take on this huge world. So being in the company would be a huge thing for me. Expectations would be for me to start and climb. I have a big ideal of being able to climb through the ranks of a company. I understand that we have to start low, and that's fine with me because the Stairmaster is my favorite thing at the gym. So, but climbing through the ranks, starting low, being able to climb, right, bring my way up to the company.
Super good. You have very ambitious goals. I like it.
Thank you, thank you.
So, as a company, we're always moving and changing. Do you respond well to change?
Well, to be realistic, sometimes no, but sometimes yes. Change is one of those things in my life that has been forever happening. I've changed from moving from state to state, moving from school to school. We've had a lot of changes in our life. And so most of the times change has been good. And I look at change as something to help me push. It's like a push factor for me. There's this one instance where my last job, we had to change completely our systems of operating, our SOPs. And it was at first a little bit hard. It was difficult, but then I used that as a push factor in order to kind of strive for change. So with the change, I learned more stuff and I was able to honestly learned the new system better than I learned the old system. So I think that change was a positive change for me. At first, it was a little bit difficult, but in no time at all, I was able to adapt and definitely adopt as well, adopt that new system and ride with it.
Awesome. Obviously, things are always going to be changing, so it's good that you can adapt to those quickly and learn. Since we are a big company that franchises, what do you think characterizes a good boss within a good company?
I think the boss is indefinitely the backbone of the entire job. I believe that without a good boss, the company's just going to fall apart. I believe a boss is fair but firm. I believe the boss should have a sense of fear, but not to be scared. I think a fear of respect, fear out of power. Somebody you're willing to go to cookout with, somebody you're willing to, if you have an open door policy and feel comfortable about it. I think I think there is a fine line between friends and bosses, but I think there's an even better relationship between a boss and an employee that would make a greater company. But with a boss and a leader, I believe both are going to be a great sense of how to lead a company. And I think as long as they're able to work with all their employees, a boss is going to be great for the company.
Yeah, it's good to have a relationship with your boss. I also agree with that. Has there ever been a time when you disagreed with a decision that your manager had made, and how did you handle that?
And one specific time that comes to mind, this was probably late 2021. I just got into this new job and I had a manager. He was a great manager overall, great, super great manager, knew how to work the company very well. But he made a decision I wasn't completely okay with. He set a team of new employees into a side, and he wanted them to form their own group and kind of learn their way through the system. Me personally, as a new employee, was part of that system. I didn't completely agree with him because I didn't understand why he would put a new group of employees together that didn't know what they were doing. As time moved on, I then saw that he was doing what was better for us because without throwing us into the lake, we can't swim. So he's pushing us in the lake into the deep end, as they say. And at first we were drowning, but over time we did learn to swim, and some of us became one of the best employees in the company. So I do think at first I disagree with the decision, but overall I was able to see the bigger picture of over after a lot of time, and I think it made me respect him more as a manager.
Yeah. Sounds like you handled that well and you came to terms with it eventually. Tell me about a time that you've dealt with an unhappy customer and how you were able to handle the situation.
Well, and a positive thing to say, I haven't dealt with many unhappy customers. I'm normally on the better side of dealing with customers. I'm a very friendly person, and when it comes to being able to handle things, but I do specifically have one memory with a customer. I was in my previous job at Mercedes-Benz, and we have direct communication with our customers. I was speaking to the customer about a problem his vehicle had, and he did not seem to believe me or like my diagnosis of the vehicle. He seemed very upset about what I'd come to terms with. So in the consult, he wanted a second opinion from other mechanics. and I very well respect that opinion. I brought my manager into this and I was like, hi, like I have a couple questions about this. I consulted one of our master mechanics and then I consulted one of my mentors. I talked to my mentor, and at the end of the day, we came down to the conclusion of that of my original diagnosis was correct of the vehicle. And by no means I showed it up to the customer. I let my master mechanic and my mentor talk to the customer about it, and they decided to take approach of it. I did do the repair, and I did talk to the customer after. He ended up leaving happy. We helped him out with the payment and all. But overall, I believe I did the correct steps. I brought a higher up party into the mix and I was able to bring the customer down to a level that we were able to talk to. Because at first, the customer was getting a little bit angry and he was bringing in tones of voice that not normally used in a conversation. So I didn't feel completely comfortable with it, but I was able to bring the customer down. And at the end of the day, he was happy with his car. His car left in a fantastic way, and I believe that helps everybody.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds like you handled it with a level head and made some good decisions. So this interview's been going super well. It's been nice talking to you.
Thank
Do
you.
you have any questions for me?
I actually do. I did a little bit of research on your company, and I saw that you guys are a franchise. You guys franchise your company out. Is there a reason why you decided to franchise your own company?
Yeah, so I franchised because I saw something most people don't. I saw a chance to bring together a community. Insurance just isn't about policies, it's about trust and local relationships. So by franchising, we're able to bring our community, our company into our own communities while maintaining security and trust. So it allows us to grow faster while also delivering a personal touch.
Yeah, I think personal touch in the company is very important. And I definitely agree with you. I think it's smart to definitely franchise, especially with the success you guys are making. I'm starting to see all sorts of advertisements and commercials about your company, and I really am looking forward to hearing back. Yeah, I have actually one more question for you, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So, since your position is a very entry level position into the field of insurance policies, more than likely you're either getting people that are new to the insurance or people straight out of college, fresh graduated, walked across the stage. Eagerness is at a 10. What are you most looking for when hiring somebody per se like me, fresh out of college, wanting to start a new chapter in his life?
Obviously, we love that they're super eager since they're just graduated, really looking for drive, adaptability, and then a willingness to learn. Insurance obviously isn't the most fun industry, but it rewards those who are sharp, coachable, and customer focused. So I don't expect new graduates to know everything, but I do expect them to be curious, willing to learn, and ready to roll up their sleeves. We can't really teach an attitude, obviously, but we can teach the skills.
Well, I'm always here to roll up my sleeves, get some work done. Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to me, Ms. Tanova. You have given me an insight on a whole bunch of things like franchising and what I need to strive for as a brand new hire. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. I appreciate everything.
Of course, it was really nice talking to you, Giancarlo. Hopefully, we'll get back to you soon and let you know. But thanks for having this interview with me today.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll be in contact, all right?
Awesome. Well, have a good night, Giancarlo.
All right, thank you.